Hello everyone, my name is Piercce Carey and I am the new Health Center Administrator here at WhiteStone. I want to take a moment and say thank you for having me on your program today, and I look forward to a discussion about the services we offer here on campus. To begin, for those of you who I have not met, I wanted to take a moment just to give you a little bit of background of myself. I was born and raised in Salina, Kansas, where I spent most of my life so far. I went to school at Simpson College, a small private school just south of Des Moines, where I studied political science and healthcare administration. After obtaining my degree, I joined the LCS team based out of Des Moines, where I was lucky enough to be part of a professional development program that allowed me to get my license in nursing home administration. I obtained my license at one of our sister communities, Sinai Residences in Boca Raton, Florida. I spent the last 2 years of my work career there before joining the WhiteStone team. I'm happy to be here in Greensboro with me and my fiance Joe, and also our 3 dogs that we have recently gotten here in Greensboro. So we're excited to be here, and I'm excited to share some of the services that we offer here on campus.
Pierce, it's a pleasure to be asked to conduct this interview with you. Because of the pandemic, many of our residents haven't had the opportunity to congratulate you on your joining our team and haven't had the opportunity to welcome you properly. And so I'm hoping through this interview that I will cover some of the questions they might ask you if they had the opportunity to meet you in person. When residents move to WhiteStone, they are interested in a continuum of care and support when the time comes that health issues become problematic. The Care and Wellness Center and the care provided there is, of course, of paramount interest. My questions of you today are going to cover 4 broad areas, including professional services and family support, orientation and education upon admission to the care center, patient safety and comfort, and staffing. So let me begin my questioning by asking you to explain the responsibilities of the administrator versus the role of the director of nursing.
That's a great question. As the administrator, I am responsible for all services rendered at the Care and Wellness Center. That includes nursing, therapy, culinary and dietary services, housekeeping, and other services provided throughout our health center. The director of nursing is the chief clinician, is how I look at the role, and they are responsible for all nursing practices and medical care at the community. My job is to help stitch the multitude of services we provide into one product that allows us to be the 5-star community that we are. I think it's important that me and the director of nursing have a really strong relationship, because me not being a clinician, sometimes I rely on their expertise to help make decisions and drive our community forward. So that is the main difference between me and our director of nursing, Michelle Brickley.
How would you differentiate between patient care and patient service? And how does the level of care in our Care and Wellness Center differ from the level of care in a hospital?
That's another great question. So, patient care is kind of the basic necessities of what we do to keep our residents safe, happy, and comfortable. Patient service is an additional step in creating an environment that is like home, and a place that may not be familiar or even home to someone. So the services we provide, we expect our hospitality promises to always come through, and for all of our staff to greet you with a smile and a helping hand at all times. The difference between a care center, like our Care and Wellness Center here, and a hospital is the level of acuity that we admit our residents. In the hospital, that's known as an acute setting, so something has happened, you've broken a hip, you've had a new diagnosis, a heart attack, something of that nature, where you're sent to the hospital to become stabilized. They stabilize you there, and then after that you go to a post-acute setting. The Care and Wellness Center could be one of those options for a post-acute setting of care. Basically that you're stable enough to reside in the nursing home and can continue to thrive in a setting that doesn't require 24-hour physicians or as intense care to help stabilize you. So that's the main difference. So when you're here and if something acute happens, you have a fall, a heart attack, something of that nature, even if you're a resident in the Care and Wellness Center, we'll send you out to the hospital to become stabilized with the more services that they're able to provide in that acute setting. And they'll return you to us for either short-term rehabilitation or your long-term care needs once you've been stabilized.
Pierce, who is responsible for extending a welcome to each person who's admitted to the care center, regardless of the time of day or the day of the week?
That's a great question. I think that my expectation is that all of our staff welcome each of our new residents or short-term rehab guests with a smile and make them feel welcomed upon admission. From a more meticulous view, Kelly Norris is our move-in coordinator. She will be probably the first person you'll talk to when getting admitted to the Care and Wellness Center and helps coordinate all the services to make sure that you have a smooth transition either from your home to the Care and Wellness Center or from a hospital to the Care and Wellness Center and get all of your patient profiles, your electronic medical record ready, and any type of operation standpoint. That's Kelly Norris. But my hope and my expectation is that all of our staff down in the Care and Wellness Center make sure you feel welcomed and happy. During any transition it can be hard, but we try to take as much pressure off you as possible.
If I'm admitted to the care center, will I receive an orientation that includes the use of the call system, the bath time routine, dining room and meal schedules, and information about how to make contacts with folks like the chaplain?
Absolutely. In our Care and Wellness Center, each resident receives a welcome packet or an admission packet that is designed to provide you with the information of all the services that you'll be getting at the Care and Wellness Center. Kelly Norris, again, our move-in coordinator, will ensure that that packet's ready for you on admission, that we get the required signatures we need to treat you in the Care and Wellness Center, and also answer any questions you have upon admission. We also have a care plan process where all of our residents short-term rehab or long-term care residents will have a care plan with their loved ones, their power of attorney, the entire interdisciplinary team, just to go over your goals for why you're in the Care and Wellness Center. That typically happens within 48 hours of admission and then ongoing as needed. Those care plans typically are front-loaded to make sure we're all in a position to get you to wherever your goals are, and backloaded to make sure that when we're ready to discharge you or if you need long-term care, all the services are provided towards that goal. So those are the care planning process that really ensure a good communication between the resident, their family and loved ones, and our staff, and that we're all working towards the same goals.
You've just answered my next question. Okay. So let me move on. Do we have a person serving in the role of patient advocate? And do they meet with each new admission and explain their role? Absolutely.
Holly Bernard is our social services assistant. Her role is a patient advocate and also to provide any additional services that are needed in the Care and Wellness Center. She has an admission assessment that she'll go over with you with a few questions, getting to know you a little better, getting to know your expectations within 24 hours of admission, and really shows you the different services, again, that we provide. So Holly Bernard would be that patient advocate role that really helps orient you to the building and is there checking on you periodically. In addition, we have a host program at our Care and Wellness facility that each resident has a specific staff member assigned to them to meet with them at least weekly to go over the services being rendered, any questions or concerns they might have, and any additional info that we can help give to you at that time. So between the host program and our social services worker, Holly Bernard, you're well taken care of as far as having an advocate and having the resources you need when you get admitted to the Care and Wellness Center.
Pierce, who should a family member contact for periodic updates on patient progress or current status, and how do they make that contact?
So our nurse supervisor phone is answered 24/7 and can always be called if you have acute or one-off question, lab results that have came in, a follow-up from a doctor's appointment, a recent event that you're needing more information about. Giving that nurse supervisor a call, they'll be able to kind of field any questions you may have and really are good at answering any of those clinical questions. From a routine standpoint, like I mentioned before, we do have regular care plan meetings with all of our residents. For our short-term rehab guests, because they're there such a short amount of time, those are more frequent so that we continue to make progress towards your goals. For our long-term care residents, those are at least quarterly or during any significant change. We get with the family members and discuss. Outside of that, our residents and our residents' families, do have the option to visit whenever they would like, and typically, especially Monday through Friday, all of our interdisciplinary team members are there, willing and ready to help or answer questions that you may have. Additionally, in that admission packet we talked about, there is a directory of phone list that has my phone, our Director of Nursing, Michelle Brickley's phone number, and anybody else in the Care and Wellness Center you may need to ask a specific question to. We try to be available 24/7 to all of our family members, and we really build a rapport with them, especially our long-term care residents, to make sure that they know we're there for them as well as the residents.
Moving on to the area of safety and comfort. Are systems in place to assure proper personal hygiene, including provisions for hand washing before meals?
Yes, I think COVID-19 has put such an emphasis on infection control that we have the different hand sanitizer dispensers, bottles, wipes for good hand hygiene, as well as sinks located throughout our facility. In addition to your first question about personal hygiene, all of our CNAs are able to chart in our care tracker system basic activities of daily living. So personal hygiene, showers, bowel and bladder, food and fluid consumption, and different things like that, so we can monitor how our residents are doing from a day-to-day basis. The most contact our residents have are with our CNAs, or certified nursing assistants. So that documentation is very valuable to us, and we go over it each morning in our morning meeting to just make sure we're abreast of any changes of condition or anything we need to be aware of.
In the past, there's been an effort to improve response time to the patient call system. Is there ongoing monitoring of this response time, and is the call system a part of the renovation of the care center?
Yes, so our call light system is a federal requirement to have in each room and common area within the facility. So our expansion will also have the same call light system that we monitor regularly. Each morning I get a report of the average call light response for the last 24 hours, and it also has all the call light response times of the last 24 hours so we can see the outliers. In the interdisciplinary morning meeting, we all talk about some of the outliers and try to discuss how we can improve and make sure that those outliers don't continue. It's important to note that my expectation is that all call lights are responded to in 5 minutes. But during those high traffic times when we're doing meal passes during meal times, any activities that might be going on that we're transporting residents to and from, speakers or singers or movies or bingo, we do see an increased call time during that, just because our staff are busy trying to meet the needs of all of our residents. But we do try to hold ourselves accountable each day to that 5-minute mark, and we are always answering call lights as promptly as possible.
I think all of the residents would like to know when the newly renovated CWC will be open, and are there plans to provide opportunities for tours?
Yes, so we anticipate that the current wing of the facility that's under construction to be done in January of next year, early January. We're hoping to do some Dusty Shoe tours prior to us opening that up again to the public and to the rest of our community. As you may know, we have ongoing construction phases, so we anticipate the entire project to be done in early 2023. So we will be under construction for the next year or so after that initial renovation's done, just to get the other half of the facility renovated and to match the side that's currently under renovations.
What amenities can we expect to see when you're fully open?
Yes, so we have a few new amenities coming to our community. The one I'm most excited about is our group activity area. So in the back of the Care and Wellness Center that's currently under renovation, right next to the pool will be a big group fitness area, which you can see renderings if you come over to the Care and Wellness Center. It'll be a big space, a multidisciplinary space that Gina and her team, or Marley with our therapy department, are able to put on programming for all of our campus, not just the residents in the Care and Wellness Center. We are also doing a facelift to the pool, adding a little bit more cosmetics to make it match the aesthetic of what's being renovated outside of the pool area. And also a new therapy gym in the Care and Wellness Center that all of us would be able to use either in the Care and Wellness Center or as part of Part B therapy services if you choose to partake in that benefit as well.
There's interest in whether walled-in oxygen is included in the renovations. Will it be, or will we continue to see oxygen tanks and storage?
Yes, so there is not walled-in oxygen in the facility or in the plans for it once it reopens under the renovations. We'll continue to use the portable concentrators or the oxygen tanks, which is pretty much industry standard for a skilled nursing facility.
Moving on to staffing, Pierce, has the COVID vaccine mandate been received by your staff? What percentage of your staff have been vaccinated today?
Today, I believe we boast about an 80% vaccination rate. We did have a few members of our team get newly vaccinated in our last clinic 2 weeks ago. They're just waiting for their second dose to clear the fully vaccinated threshold. So we're expecting that number to go up in the coming weeks. The vaccine mandate as an industry, I think, has not been received well. Those that wanted to be vaccinated got vaccinated early, especially healthcare workers that had the priority access. But it's an important step that both our board and Life Care Services wanted to take, and we're willing to take that. Our duty is to protect our residents and make sure that we're doing everything we can in their interest. And one of those steps was to mandate the vaccine. So while I think the staff members across the industry, like I said, have not taken it particularly well, it was a step that we felt we needed to take. But we are feeling that on the staffing end with some resignations, and according to our application data, about a 30% decrease as we now ask that question as part of the application process of those applications coming through. So we're definitely feeling the effects, but we think it was a worthwhile investment into the safety of our residents.
How would you characterize your goals for the staff, especially with regards to professionalism, compassionate care, personal conduct while on duty, and overall patient-centered care? And how do you motivate staff to buy into these goals?
That's a great question, and I think as an industry in healthcare, we are all grappling with that. As you are aware, the last year and a half, 2 years, has been impactful on all of us, and especially those working in healthcare. It has been a very, very long 2 years with COVID. So we are continuing to try and find ways to motivate staff, to recruit and retain new staff. But it's difficult. I think all of our morale is has been hit by the pandemic, and I think it's going to take a while to recover from this as we're still in the middle of fighting this virus. I'm excited for the new opportunities we have for staff appreciation events, investments into staff, investments into their own personal development and professional development. But it is a tough time to be in healthcare and to try to keep morale up and keep staff motivated with this ongoing virus that we just can't get over the top of. So we're looking for new ways to do so, but my expectation is always that any staff member, no matter how burnt out we are, treats all of our residents with respect and dignity and utmost person-centered care. And that is what me and our director of nursing, Michelle Brickley, are trying to instill in the staff in the Care and Wellness Center.
How do you provide staffing on the weekends and the holidays that best assures continuity of care?
So our staffing pattern on the weekends and the holidays for our floor staff remains the same. We have the same consistencies of nurses and CNAs on the floor at all times, depending on the shift, no matter what holiday or weekend it is. Our ancillary staff, so like myself, social services, our admissions coordinator, we're all on a rotation over the weekends and the holidays to ensure that we have a manager on duty at all times. Even if we're all not here on the weekends or the holidays, there are personnel there to help be the administration, if you will, as far as the weekend or the holiday. But as far as floor staff, CNAs, nurses, therapy, those are all pretty consistent regardless of the day of the week.
Pierce, how does a 5-star rating system translate into exemplary care? Or is its value seen more in the area of reimbursement and marketing?
So the 5-star rating is a reflection of the quality of care we administer in our community. So it has a few different factors, the main ones being health inspections, so our annual survey or any survey in between those annual surveys. Our quality measures, so things that we capture in our minimum data set that we send to the federal government each quarter, just talking about readmissions to the hospital, wounds, incontinence, ability to move independently, things like that, as well as staffing. So those are our main areas that we're rated on, and those are a reflection of the care that we administer in the health center. It doesn't affect reimbursement either way, the 5-star rating, but it does affect, or it does have a attractive appeal from a marketing standpoint. So we do try to market the quality of care that we have by noting that we are a 5-star community.
On behalf of our residents, I thank you for bringing your leadership and your management expertise to WhiteStone and for participating in this interview. We all hope for future opportunities to meet with you in person and to work with you and your staff in whatever ways we can to promote quality of care in a premier facility. Our very best wishes as you lead us into the future as a community committed to that goal. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end our interview?
No, I just want to say thank you again for having me today, and to all of our residents. The services we provide, whether that's therapy under Part B, Medicare Part B services, we can help you with that over here in independent living, our home care services, and ultimately the care that we render down in the Care and Wellness Center. All of those are available to you. If you have any questions or you need any information regarding any of those health services, please reach out to me. I'm always willing to talk about your specific circumstances and how we can best meet your needs, either in independent living or down in the Care and Wellness Center. So don't hesitate to reach out, and I look forward to continue to meet you all and get to know you all as we look to the future.
Thank you, Pierce.
Mm-hmm.